we were talking about it before. The Elamites, they were Canaanites. You had a whole bunch of different tribes that were in that region that they just classified as Canaanite, and that's what they basically are. And it's just like
Yeah. Okay,
it,
that's from an ethnic standpoint,
well,
though.
that's all there is when it comes to ethnic. Now, Zionism and being Jewish has absolutely, or Semitic, not Jewish, just Semitic, has absolutely nothing to do with DNA or any of that matter. It's a
Yeah, it
language. No,
does.
it's a
It's
language.
both. It's both.
No, it's
It is
not.
both.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
According to the United Nations, according to the, what was it, 67 convention?
It's historical, cultural, ethnical,
They
religious.
they
Semitic is many, many, many things.
they spill all that shit
Re-
out and they never say
really,
anything about DNA ever.
That's part of it. That's part of it.
weirdly enough, this conflation between race and religion and ethnic status is being replayed with the entire Islam argument at this present moment.
Yeah. Well, is Islam a race?
According to the British government, it is.
Oh my God! Oh my
Yeah.
God! Yeah, and groom ganging, and then pointing out that groom ganging is largely
well,
but Pakistan pro-life is racist.
They
too, right?
refer to themselves as the Nation of Islam, don't they?
That's no. Those are the blacks. They're the one black sect led by
Oh,
Farrakhan.
Louis Farrakhan, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the Black
That's just
Panthers.
one offshoot.
Black Panthers.
That's Malcolm X. Wasn't he a part of the Nation of Islam? And they shot him. They killed him because of it. It's he started to stray a little bit. And
what happened?
become less ethical.
The whole thing was he did a pilgrimage to Egypt and he learned what Islam really was. And when he came back, he turned away from a lot of his old prejudiced ways.
Yeah, and he saw that anyone could be. He's like even white honky crackers could be Muslims if they've converted. It's up to them, right?
But,
just like with
I
convert as a Jew.
I do want to be clear on one thing. If you listen to Malcolm X, even before what he said, a lot of it was truth. Now, he mentioned a lot of things that was taking place during the 60s that a lot of people don't want to really recognize. Like,
right.
Why would you have the NAACP regulated by 6 white guys and 3 black guys?
Because that was America back in the day, I guess. And how many of those so-called white guys were Jewish?
Well, no, I mean it doesn't matter. It's just this is supposed to be a fund that's made for. This is a fund that's supposed to be set up for black people, and they have to be monitored by a bunch of white people.
Outsiders.
You see?
Just outsiders. It doesn't matter who they're. Just they're outsiders.
This was the stuff that Malcolm X was talking about, and nobody wanted to hear that. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Nobody wanted to hear the fact that the black people who were enslaved by white people were actually joining the political party that was the slave owners.
You know, and speaking of, not just what you say, like white people, are you aware that the transatlantic slave trade was dominated by Jews?
Well, I mean,
look into it. It's not. I'm just not making this stuff up. It's something that you talk about people not wanting to hear it. Well, it's another. There you go. Another Malcolm X example of that.
Dominated.
Look into it.
Careful about the word dominated because
they were a central force. They were a major player.
Yeah.
Major
they
player.
are a major player, but they weren't the only major.
And they were a lot of times kind of crypto Jews too. So you just and you know what the first slave trader in America, purchasing, selling blacks, was himself a black person.
That was the same guy that made peanut butter.
Could have been. Vinny, we need Vinny from Brooklyn. Where the hell is he?
Let's see if he's.
Would he be
Washington?
Awake right now?
George Washington Carver, I believe, is what it is.
No. He wasn't a slave trader. No.
The guy that made peanut butter he owned slaves.
Maybe that George Washington Carver.
He was a black man, I believe, and he owned slaves.
Yeah. He was a scientist, and he was a lot of things, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was a pretty capable guy. So Zog, we just added the Zog group. We've got Ireland in the side chat, as you can see. Jordan Peterson, cryptocurrencies, but there we go.
And since we're bringing that up, I mean, let's talk about how many Irish people were actually sold into slavery during that time period.
Yeah.
They were the first slaves sold in America, apparently.
You know, it was like,
it wasn't blacks; it was the Irish.
You know, and when it comes to the word Slav, that's actually the root word for the word slave. That's the Slavs were the first actual slaves that were taken in.
Yeah. Well. Yeah,
there's a really good scene in the film Gangs of New York, right at the start of the film, where you see these Irish immigrants all coming off the ship in New York and being automatically signed off to fight for the North in the Civil War.
Well,
to fight for who?
For the North.
The North.
Oh, the North.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cannon fodder, huh?
Indentured servants.
Right.
It's kind of like with England when they were fighting against us. They hired the Hessians, and the Hessians were from Germany, and what's the Bohemians, and these people, man, were really, really poor. So what they did is they hired them as mercenaries to come over here. That's the technical term, you know what I mean? But
mind you, the Asians were mercenaries in quite a few wars, actually.
Mm-hmm. But they were.
Well, wasn't it the Rothschilds who they were directly involved in funding the U.S. Civil War, and even like this is the War of Independence, so I think is what you're talking about. Or was it the Civil War with the Hessian mercenaries, the German mercenaries?
Yeah, this is before Rothschild.
This is the revolution.
I don't know, man.
Until Napoleonic Wars.
No. Yeah. You'd want to look into that. The Napoleonic Wars, you're saying that the Rothschilds are not active?
Well, see, the Jewish...
wasn't really active until the Napoleonic Wars.
Where the Jewish fit into all that is because they had real strong ties with the cotton growers in the South. And what happened was you had these slave owners who had their slaves living on their property, and then the Jews were known to set up shops there on the property, and the only people that the slaves could buy from was these shops that were set up by the Jews, and that's where all that takes place. So while we were having slaves in the South, these slaves could only buy from Jewish stores.
Whoa. What?
Yes.
Excuse me, you're talking about the slaves being able to only buy from the Jewish
store
run
Yeah, they were run on these plantations, okay? So they were set up there, and those were the only people that these black people could go to get their supplies.
And they were operated by probably crypto Jews.
Mm-hmm. That's what the story is, of course, but history in the United States is always like, don't trust anything that relates to American history.
Fact check. Yeah.
You can't even fact check.
Well,
it's that bad. Like,
look at the launderers, the building of the railroads in the West, and it was largely the Chinese, I don't know if they'd be coolies necessarily, or just the kind of the slave laborers that were brought in, and many of them losing their lives, of course, but not all, and the ones who survived, and even the gold rush down in California there as well, along with the the railroads, I think probably throughout America and Canada, big time, with what they later went on to become very, very successful in launching their working as Chinese launderers, not of money, but like clothes, basically laundry, washing and drying, cleaning clothes. Very, very. It's a smart business to be involved in. Because unless as long as it's chemical free, obviously, but.
U.S. railroads, Chinese and again Irish, and in the UK Irish. The term navvy comes to mind.
Navvy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that
Irish
Navy?
Oh, it's a bit of slang for Irish workers.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Workers.
I thought it meant Navy.
No. It's a British slang for indentured Irish workers.
That could probably be what formed the word Navy in the first place, because English were known for forcing people from debtors' prison into their navy to pay off their
press
debts.
gangs.
Mm-hmm. So,
right?
And that's what caused the War of 1812, was because the English didn't recognize people who fought for America as being citizens of the United States. They escaped from the Navy. They AWOL basically is what it was.
A lot of pirates, a lot of buccaneers, brigands, and freebooters. Hey, look at us. I mean, that's what we pride ourselves on, being total digital freebooters. Yeah,
and see, all these problems today still goes back to the English, because if they wasn't so cocky, they would.
There we go.
Well. Yeah.
We ended up out of resentment. We built the greatest navy on the face of the planet, and we've been that way ever since. And it all started because the English.
There you are. But remember,
after the War of 1812, we took over.
Rules the seas.
No,
Canada was doing pretty well there for a short time, actually.
After the War of 1812, the United States ruled the planet.
You know,
the 1588.
You know, Jaffe, Canada and the British worked together to help thwart the American invasion.
Mm-hmm.
What year?
Well, the Lower Seacourt days, right?
Talking 1812. That.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. And then there was the French-Indian Wars, right?
Now, that was actually the colonies during that time. The French and Indian Wars was actually how George Washington got famous.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. 1813 was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, 1812, and the Battle of New Orleans. Has everyone heard of the Battle of New Orleans?
Yep. Wait until you see the whites of their eyes.
Apparently, good old Johnny Horton.